Our focus on urban reality today is Delhi's land pooling policy, and the second big question we're asking, will it help actually create an affordable housing stock of 25 lakh new units as expected? Dr. Rao?
Well, the provisions make room for about 15% of EWS housing over and above the 400 FAR. There is a 15% FAR that is provided for EWS housing. So to that extent, yes, because this EWS housing is going to be on a predetermined rate, much like in the other
so housing
TOD
alone,
policy.
but there's so much more to be taken care of.
Yeah, so to a certain extent, yes, you can get some amount of housing for the EWS. But then what happens above the EWS, the low income and the middle income, there's a big question mark, because ultimately by the time you get the developed land, and when you look at the viability of the entire project, because the landlords are going to bring in developers and there's going to be infrastructure and there are going to be so many things. So by the time, is it going to be really economically viable to provide housing at maybe 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs?
And prices have already started going up. Amit Oberoi, I mean, there are people who've already, 2 years ago, as soon as it was notified by the Urban Development Ministry, people have started raising the prices of land there.
So yes, prices have gone up, but let's also understand this will have to work by market dynamics. You've got 25,000 hectares, everything cannot be luxury. A lot of it will have to be sold as MIG, LIG, maybe not EWS, but that's the way you have to sell it, because 25,000 hectares cannot possibly be luxury housing.
Well, we're not even talking about luxury, but my question to you is that has a lot of affordability already gone out of the market because land prices have gone up in anticipation of land pooling?
Well, no, I don't believe that.
Okay.
And I don't believe that because land prices have gone up. It's also a function of the fact that, look, when a lot of people started acquiring land, we didn't even know what the FSI was going to be, right? It's now 400, number one. Number two, it is the market which has to dictate at the end of it, because developers will come in with a financial feasibility of the project, and that financial feasibility will have to take into account absorption of the units.
So you're saying mid-income, sweet spot, they will have to launch those. Yeah. What about, you were talking about power and other, you just don't have houses. Right now you have DD actually developing in sectors of Dwarka and Rohini, but they seem to be out in jungles.
You know what's going to happen? We're making a large number of presumptions here. So things are not actually going to work the way we want them to work, because there will be some people who will come forward, there will be some people who will not come forward, there will be some projects which will start first, some which will start later. Maybe projects will get delayed because of lack of electricity, lack of water, whatever. So there are all these whole lot of issues which are going to be there, which are going to intervene in your costing economics. So you will start off with the premise that I am going to provide housing at a certain price, but you will not be able to provide housing at that particular price because of various other unforeseen factors, and the chances of these happening are very, very high. The way in which Dwarka got delayed for a large number of years, the way in which Vasant Kunj did not get water a long time back. So there are all these issues which are going to happen, and we have no control over those macro infrastructure projects which are going to be linked up to this. So therefore land pooling is to be seen in a much larger context. And the economics will not be as simple as it's being made out to be.
All right, that you have contiguous parcel of land, Dr. Ramachandran, and 25 lakh homes will get created affordable for Delhiites. Are we hoping, or are we being too ambitious?
I think it's still hope, because I don't see it happening in the immediate or the near future, because there are a whole lot of issues, and added to that is to own a house or a plot in Delhi is a big luxury now. So prices will keep going up, and people will try to get more price out of that. So when you talk about affordable housing, affordable for who, that also becomes a question. So I think it's a big dream which we have now. We have to watch how it really proceeds or progresses further, unless there is a strong will from the top. And the three decide to work together. That is the Ministry of Urban Development, the GNCTD, and the DDA. And there is a target-bound approach. This is not going to happen in the near future.
All right, Ramesh Menon, I'm going to throw you the last question. Delhi's ambitions of actually overtaking Mumbai as a financial capital. NCR as a whole, already by an Oxford study, has said that is a larger economic value creator than MMR. But do you think that ambition will be helped by Delhi land pooling, or that's a separate issue altogether?
No, see, the best part about the land pooling policy is that the government agencies will almost get 6,900 odd hectares of land to develop on their own. Correct. Besides what they can load as a benefit to themselves in terms of FAR. So, on back of the envelope calculation says that there can be almost 35 million square feet of commercial office space, which can be created in Delhi within 15 kilometers of the airport. So that's going to be a big plus. I'm not very pessimistic as some other panelists are. All that the DDA has to do is, move away from being a developer and become an administrator or a monitor and make sure that the processes move very fast. Again, I'm linking it to the Aadhaar and passport and all those services.
Right. So that point's taken. I'm afraid we've run out of time, but Ramesh Menon, that point taken, you're saying it's not such a mammoth task as we're making out to be. And I think Najib Jung already said that, like, stop being an implementer or a developer, become just an administrator for DDA. And that's the only role which is... at least we can hope that that's the role DDA will take for land pooling policy to take off. Dr. Ramachandran, Dr. Rao, Amit Oberoi and Ramesh Menon, thank you very much for joining me. I'm going to wrap out saying for India's capital city, time is really of immense value. So the entire idea of land pooling was to make Delhi a future-ready city. So we hope that DDA will get it right and the last few hurdles will be crossed. Thank you so much for joining me on Urban Reality. I'll be back same time again next week.